Sup people, it's your boy Sly. In this video, I'm going to talk about job interviews. Job interviews are one of the most frustrating things people have to go through. Everyone goes through job interviews. No one is exempt from it, okay? This is one of the things that makes people go crazy sometimes. Because finding a job in the US is not easy as people think it is. It's getting so bad to the point where minimum wage jobs are even hard to get. Look at it from this perspective, okay? Before, it was, I can say like before, right? Probably in the 80s and 90s, probably like where it was harder to get a career job because of so much competition, right? Like if you, let's just say, for example, you apply to work as, let's just say, you apply as a lawyer to work at a law firm in a city, right? And the issue is like they have so many qualified lawyers in that area alone, you may have to extend your search to like 20 to 30 mile radius. See what I mean? Like you had to look for a job in a law firm, right? That's how it was back in the day. Like you had to look far for a job. And getting a job that's minimum wage was so easy because it was always there, you know? But in 2018, it's, to what I feel, is totally different now. It's like, if you want a career job, it's very easy to get. Because if you go online, look up jobs, look at career jobs, they have openings everywhere. Nurses, pharmacists, healthcare professionals, they're everywhere. But to get a minimum wage job, you're gonna spend a couple of weeks before you even get a call back. In some cases, you don't even get a call back. So things have changed in the US. Things have changed. And there are reasons why, but I'm not going to go into them now. The whole point of this video is about job interviews. See, job interviews in the US is so stressful and so frustrating. Because the thing people don't understand in the US is that job searches are not based on your qualifications. It's based on your personality. And it's based on your sense of fashion. This may sound strange, but I'm telling you what I have noticed. Okay? This is not true in all cases, but this is true in some cases, okay? Qualifications, okay. Having the qualifications for a job is the most crucial part of getting the job because they want to make sure you're qualified. But when you have other applicants who are qualified for the job, it's no longer about the qualification. It's about other factors. It's about your personality. It's about your behavior. It's about the way you dress. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me explain one part. Your sense of fashion is the most important thing. Okay? It's the most important thing. Because the way you dress, it shows it shows your personality a little bit. Okay? For example, if you wear a suit and a tie, in many cases it shows you're responsible, it shows you're intelligent. That's what it shows. Okay? So some job interviews, it's good to dress casual. It's good to dress like a collared shirt. khakis or just wear like a suit and tie and everything. So when those things, so when you wear those things, those style of dressing, you get a good, you pretty much get a positive response from the interviewer. Okay. So the hiring manager represents the company, but that person is also an individual. So if they don't like the way you dress, there's a high possibility you're not gonna move further in the company. Okay. Also, it comes down to personality. Personality is very important because your personality pretty much reflects on how you're gonna be with the company. Okay, like some people, like, there's some interviewers out there, right? They'll, some of them are just straightforward. They ask all the questions they want to ask you, and you go your way, right? But there's some cases out there where some interviewers are just happy. They're just happy people, They like cracking jokes. They like telling stories. So if you don't have a sense of humor, there's a high possibility you're probably not gonna get that job. Many people in the U.S. don't have a sense of humor. And let me explain this. It's like sometimes when you crack a joke, people don't get it. When you go to a work environment, they want to be around happy people. They don't want to deal with negative people. They don't want to deal with people who have no. Because there's some people out there who are very hardworking, but they have no social life, and they just tend to bring dullness to the work environment. Companies do not want that, nor do they need that. So they look for positive people. Okay? They like people who smile a lot. People who can take a joke. People who have a good sense of humor. That's what they're looking for. Okay? Another thing is, when it comes to sometimes they're going to ask you questions about your hobbies. Like, what do you do outside work? And they ask this question because they want to make sure that you have a life outside work. So you have a good work-life balance. Companies like to have employees who do things, because some companies out there, they have their yearly retreats. Some have like a company vacations. Everyone goes together on. So it could be many things. One thing you have to understand is the way you look plays a very big role in getting jobs. Okay? I'm going to say this. When it comes to some people out there aren't going to like you. That's just the way it is. Like, I had one interview where there was some young guy, okay, interviewed me because he interviewed me for his company he worked on, or some online digital marketing company, right? I did an interview with the actual owner, right? And when okay, let me get back. I did an interview for a digital marketing company. I did an interview with the actual owner, some young guy. I'm gonna assume that he's like in his late 20s, I assume. So I can tell he looked at me once and was like, I'm not interested. Because we did a video chat, right? So I already know he looked at me once and goes, I'm not interested. He didn't say it, but the vibe I got was like, okay, I'm not gonna hire this guy. But anyhow, let me tell you what happened. I did the interview, right? He asked me all the questions he wanted to, right? He asked me all the questions he wanted to ask me. I answered every question accordingly. There were no pauses. Just answered it, right? I did everything he said. He said he'll get back to me within a week or so. He never got back to me, and it's been about 2 months, I think, so far. He hasn't gotten back to me at all. No, about 3 months, okay? And to be honest with you, I didn't give a fuck about that guy. Because, one, the reason why I wasn't too happy to work with this guy, because one, he told me that he doesn't have an office where employees go to. It's more of a virtual office, in the sense where you work from home, there's no office. You pretty much report everything online. So I was like, that's a red flag to me. Red flag. Because if the guy had an office and you can work from home, that makes perfect sense. But when you have no physical office, right, that did not do well for me. Because those type of companies that are virtual like that, it's hard to keep track of their employees. You don't know if they're going to get rid of you, because you don't know. Because you just don't know how they work. But when you're in an office, you can see the manager, you can see other employees to help you do your job correctly, or if there's some new discoveries, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm not messing with this guy. But anyhow, he never got back to me. And to be honest, I didn't really care. It didn't cross my mind until like a few weeks ago when I actually thought about it. But overall, I already knew. He looked at me once. He was like, not interested. I already knew it. I knew it. So, and there are many jobs I've been to in the past. The exact same thing. I know they looked at me once, said not interested. I just know it. Some people out there are just picky like that. And in some cases, it's not even about the company, it's about the individual. So the hiring manager has to like you, regardless of your qualifications. It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. Okay? There are so many people out there who are qualified who don't get certain jobs. You know? So that's why I hate job searching in the US. It's all bullshit. Job interviews are bullshit. They waste your time. Some of them will waste your time. That shit used to tick me off. Like, they'll tell you to do like, okay, you passed the first interview, come for the second one, come for the third one. Then it's like, yeah, sorry, we're not going to move forward with your application. You're like, hold on, motherfucker. You made me go through 3 interviews just to reject me? See, some companies only do like 1 interview. If they like you, hey, we need to sign this paperwork, we got you. That's it. But some companies that make you go through 3 fucking rounds, that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. It's stupid. Either you want me or you don't. So I kind of got the hint where you cannot depend on you cannot depend on job searches that will help you. You cannot depend on job searches anymore. You're gonna have to find other ways to make money. Start your own business or have some networks. But you walking into an office by yourself to get a job is not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? I've been to job interviews where they literally waste your time. Literally. They just waste your time. And you wonder why people become angry. There's one interview I had one time that really pissed me off. Was when I did an interview for a guy, right? I did an interview. And he literally said, he said everything's good. He told me to go to some area for a drug test, right? I did the drug test, right? I had to pay for it. Then he said, sorry, I'm not interested. Can you imagine that shit? Because I know most companies, they pay for the drug test. They pay for it. But this guy had me do an interview, go for a drug test, because back then I'm not on drugs, so, you know, go for a drug test. I did the drug test, and he said, we're not going to hire you. That they found somebody, I think some weird shit. I forgot what he said exactly, but long story short, we're not going to hire you. Do you not see how annoying that shit was? You just wasted my time. And in my opinion, he made up his mind he did not want me, but he made me waste my fucking time. So that's the bullshit we go through in America because of job searches. So job interviews is bullshit out here. Hope you guys, I mean, some people may have been through these things, but never actually analyzed it. But this is what I'm telling you what I've seen. So let me know what you think.